यूनिट 5A सिंदबाद। गुड मॉर्निंग। पिछले क्लास में सिंदबाद जो कि आपका चैप्टर 5A है, सिंदबाद द सेलर सेकंड वॉइस, हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था। थोड़ा सा जो बाकी था आज उनको पहले रीडिंग देंगे, फिर मीनिंग समझेंगे। द वैली ऑफ डायमंड्स, ठीक है। वैली जिसको कहते हैं खाई, एक तरह से पहाड़ों के बीच में जो जगह रहता है उसको वैली कहते हैं। जो है डायमंड्स का वैली। द वैली इन विच आई फाउंड माई सेल्फ वॉज क्वाइट डीप एंड नैरो एंड वॉज सराउंडेड बाय हाई माउंटेन्स so erect and rocky that there was no way to climb up to their sides. As I walked about in search of some way of escaping from this place, I observed that the ground was covered with diamonds. Some of them were of a huge and expected size. कुछ वर्ड्स हैं जिनको फिर से पढ़ना पड़ेगा। सराउंडेड, माउंटेन्स, इरेक्ट, कवर्ड, स्केपिंग, ऑब्जर्व्ड, डायमंड्स जिसको हीरा कहते हैं, डायमंड्स, ह्यूज, अनएक्सपेक्टेड साइज। दिस व्यू gave me a great pleasure, but my glee was soon ended when I also saw numerous snakes, which were so long and so large that the smallest of them could have swallowed an elephant very easily. Luckily for me, they appeared to hide in the caves during the daytime, and they only came out by the night time because of their enemy, the rock. All day long I moved up and down through the valley, and when it grew dark I went into a cave, and having blocked the entrance with a stone, I ate the remaining food and lay down to sleep. But all through the night the snake crawled to and fro, hissing terribly, so that I could barely close my eyes with fear. fear मतलब डर। I was much thankful when the morning appeared. Appear मतलब दिखना। And when I guessed by the silence that the snakes had moved back to their place, I came quickly out of my cave and moved up and down the valley again, kicking the diamonds out of my way, for I felt that they were in fact worthless things to man in this situation. At last, being very tired, I sat down upon a rock, but I had hardly closed my eyes when I felt that something fell to the ground with a thud close beside me. It was a huge piece of fresh meat, and as I looked at it, few more pieces rolled over beside me. I had always thought that the stories the sailors told about the famous Valley of Diamonds were not true, but now I believed them. These merchants came to the valley at the time when the eagles had hatched their young ones. The merchants then grew great chunks of meat into the valley. The chunks falling with so much force upon the diamonds were sure to take up some of the precious stones with them. When the eagles pounced upon the meat and carried it off to their nest to feed their hungry babies, then the merchants would scare away the parent eagles with shouts and outcries to secure their treasures. Until this moment, I had looked upon the valley as my deathbed, for there seemed no possibility of getting out of it alive. But now I took courage and began to search for the means for escaping from this place. I began to pick up all the big diamonds I could find and kept them very carefully in my leather wallet. I tied it to my, आप देख रहे हैं ये सांपों की जो कहानी है, ये वैली में फंस गए थे तो वहाँ केवल सांप ही सांप थे, डर से इनका हाल खराब था, तो उन्हीं के बारे में ये कहानी बता रहे हैं। ठीक है। I tied it to my belt. I then chose the piece of meat which seemed most suitable to my purpose, and with the help of my turban tied it very tightly to my back. Having done this, I laid down upon my face and waited for the coming of the eagles. ईगल समझ रहे हैं, जिसको बाज भी कहते हैं ना। I soon heard the noise of the flapping of their wings above me, and as expected, one of them seized upon my piece of meat and took flight. Slowly towards his nest, into which he presently dropped me. Luckily for me, the merchants were on the watch and setting up their usual shouts. They rushed to the nest, scaring away the eagle. Their amazement was great when they saw me, and also their anger for having robbed them of their usual treasure. But when I showed the diamonds to them, all of them crowded round me, wondering at my adventures and approving the plan by which I had escaped from the valley. At night they led me to their camp. I stayed with the merchants for a few days, and then as they were sailing homewards, I gladly joined them. Okay? अब ये कहानी यहीं तक थी, यहाँ ख़त्म हो गई। अब जो है इसमें से वर्ड मीनिंग्स हैं, तो थोड़े से वर्ड मीनिंग्स ही हम लोग देख ही लेते हैं। ठीक है। कर वेज, वेज मतलब होता है यात्रा कर। ए लॉन्ग जर्नी, बहुत लंबा सफ़र को जो है ना वेज कहते हैं, छोटे यात्रा को नहीं, लंबा सफ़र जो उसको वेज कहते हैं। बाय सी और इन स्पेस, स्पेस का यात्रा या फिर समंदर का यात्रा, उसको वेज कहते हैं। वॉर्न आउट यानी कि एग्जॉस्टेड। ठीक है। हैबिटेंट यानी कि पीपुल लिविंग सम पर्टिकुलर प्लेस, इसके बारे में तो बताए थे कि किसी एक खास प्लेस में पर जो पीपुल या फिर एनिमल रहते हैं। डेजर्टेड, लोनली, लोनली मतलब होता है अकेलेपन में। ठीक है। बिटरली, इंटेंसली। ठीक है। पाउंसेड मूव्ड सडनली, सडनली मतलब अचानक, मूव्ड सडनली एज सो सीज, और अटैक, अटैक समझ रहे हो मतलब जो अटैक यानी हमला, इरेक्ट यानी स्ट्रेट, स्ट्रेट ये जिसको सीधा कहते हैं, ग्ली यानी ग्रेट डिलाइट। ठीक है, तो ये जो है यहाँ तक इनके सैनोनाइम्स भी दिए हुए थे, ये भी आपने देखा। अब इसके बाद है क्वेश्चंस एंड आंसर्स। ठीक है, तो उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आगे भी आप किताब से बनाने का कोशिश करोगे। ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच।